Yes, dear students, in the last class we have discussed about that rate constant for zero order reactions and first order reactions. Rate constant formulas we have discussed, dear students, and related graphical representations and all. In the today's class we'll discuss about that integrated. Today's class will discuss about that half-life period for a reaction, half-life period for zero order reaction, first order reactions, second order reactions, and nth order reactions. Half-life period formulas and related graphical representations and all we will discuss, and it's very important concept, dear students, for both subjective and objective. We know very well, dear students, half-life means the 50% of the reaction need to complete. How much time is required is known as a half-life period. Okay, so the definition for half-life period is also very important, dear students. So the half-life period means the time taken for the completion of reaction by 50% is known as a half-life period. It is represented by T half. It is represented by T half. So the half-life period formula for zero order reaction and first order reactions first we need to discuss, and is very important. Yeah. Let's see, dear students, in board examination or subjective exam, they ask like derive the half-life period for zero order reaction, or the same question they will ask like this: show that half-life period for zero order reaction is directly proportional to initial concentration of reactant. Like that, two ways they are asking, their students. So how to derive the half-life period for zero order reaction? And we know very well, dear students, rate constant for zero order reaction. The rate constant for zero order reaction, the K is equals to R naught. R naught is nothing but initial concentration minus final concentration of reactant in the time period T. Okay, dear student, this is the rate constant formula for zero order reaction. In the above reaction, for example, in the above reaction or zero order reaction, 50% of the reaction is completed. So if the time is equals to T half, if the time means 50% of the time is over, means the time is becomes T half, then the final concentration of reactant is equals to 50% of the initial concentration of reactant, R naught by T, R naught by 2. Okay, dear students. So if the time is equals to T half, then the final concentration of reactant becomes half. Final concentration of reactant is equals to initial concentration by half, means R naught by 2. R naught by 2, just you have to substitute in the K formula. Then the K is equals to R naught minus R naught by 2 whole by T half. Okay, then just you have to imagine that. Then K is equals to 2 R naught. Just you have to simplify, dear student. This is R naught minus R. 2 R naught minus R naught by 2 T half. Okay, 2 R naught minus R is nothing but R naught. Therefore, K is equals to R naught by 2 T half. So from this zero order reaction, T half is equals to R naught. R naught means initial concentration by 2K. This is the half-life period formula for zero order reaction, dear students. So the half-life period for zero order reaction, T half is equals to R naught by 2K, where R naught is equals to initial concentration. How this equation we are derived, dear students? Just I took K is equals to R naught minus R by T. Is the time T is equals to T half, means the time 50% of the reaction is completed. That time is known as, we are represented by T half. Then that R naught, final concentration of reactant, R becomes R naught by 2. R becomes R naught by 2. Just we are substituting that K formula. Then T half is equals to R naught by 2K we got. It indicates it is the half-life period for zero order reaction. If you observe that for zero order reactions, half-life is equals to R naught. R naught means initial concentration by 2K. So the K is rate constant. That's why the T half is directly proportional to initial concentration of reactant. So half-life, derive the half-life period for zero order reaction. The asked means we have to write, we need to write T half is equals to R naught by 2K. or prove that half-life period for zero order reactions is directly proportional to initial concentration of reactant. Like they're asked means just you have to derive the T of formula. Then in the above formula, the K is constant. It is the K is a constant. That's why T half is equals to 1 by 2K into R naught into R naught. This is the constant. That's why that constant, if you are removed, means T of is directly proportional to R naught, initial concentration of a reactant. Okay, dear student, this is about for zero order reaction. The same way first order reaction half-life period also we need to derive. These zero order reactions and first order reactions half-life periods are very, very important. Okay, dear students. Now let's see that first order reaction. So first order reaction half-life period for first order reaction. This question they will ask like this, or otherwise show that half-life period for first order reaction is independent of the initial concentration of reactant. Independent means does not depends on the initial concentration of reactant. We need to prove, and we know very well, dear students, half-life K formula, integrated rate constant. K formula for first order reaction, K is equals to 2.303 by T into log R naught by R, where R naught is the initial concentration, T is equals to time, and R is equals to final concentration of reactant at any time T. Okay, now in the above formula, just you have to consider the time is equals to T half, then the R is equals to R naught by 2, just you have to substitute, dear students. Then K is equals to 2.303 by T, the T becomes T half. Okay, dear students, and log R naught by R value is nothing but concentration of final concentration of reactant is nothing but R naught by 2. Just R naught by 2, you have to substitute this R naught, and R naught will cancel, dear students. 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is nothing but 2, dear students. So this equation becomes K is equals to 2.303 by T half into log 2. Log 2 value we know very well, dear students. Log 2 is equals to 0.3010. So just you have to consider that log 2 value. Then the K is equals to 2.303 by T half into log 2 value 0.3010 is on simplification. The K is equals to 0.693 by T half will comes. Okay, then half-life period T half is equals to 0.693 by K. Okay, dear students. So the T half-life period for first order reactions is equals to 0.693 by K, where K is constant or a rate constant. Integrated rate constant for first order reaction, and 0.693 is also constant. Therefore, for first order reaction, T half is equals to constant only. It does not depends on the concentration of a reactant. So in the above equation, what is the equation half-life period for first order reaction, dear students? For first order reactions, half-life period is equals to T half is equals to 0.693 by K. So here 0.693 is a constant and K is also constant. That's why T half is equals to constant. So it indicates that half-life period for first order reaction, half-life period for first order reaction is independent on the initial concentration of reactants. Okay, that also we proved. Okay, dear students, these are very, very important formulas for zero order reaction half-life period as well as first order reaction half-life periods. Okay. Now I will give you one general equation, dear students, for nth order reactions half-life period formula. This equation, if you remember, then we'll get idea about that half-life period of reaction and their initial concentration relation will get, dear students. So the half-life period for nth order reaction, the half-life period for nth order reaction T half is equals to 1 by K into n minus 1 into 2 power n minus 1 whole by a to the power of n minus 1. Okay, where n is indicates the order of the reaction, where n is equals to order of the reaction, order of reaction or nth order reaction, where K is equals to rate constant. Here small a used, dear students, small a is equals to R naught only, is nothing but initial concentration. Initial concentration of reactant. Okay, dear students, now this is the general formula for nth order reaction. If n is equals to 1 if you are used, or n is equals to 0 you are used, then T half is equals to A by T of is equals to n equals to 0 means just you substitute 1 by A power minus 1 is nothing but A by 2K will get. Okay, if n is equals to 1 if you are used means T half is equals to constant will get for first order reaction. If n is equals to 2 you are used, then the half life period T half is equals to 1 by Ka, 1 by Ka will get, because n is equals to 2 means 1 by K into 2 minus 1 is nothing but K only, dear students, and 2 power 2 minus 1, 2 power 2 minus 1 is nothing but 2 minus 1 means 1 will get by whole to the power of A power 2 minus 1 is nothing but A only. So the n is equals to 2 means for second order reactions T half is equals to 1 by K into initial concentration. So for second order reactions T half is equals to 1 by K into R naught. So this A, small a is indicates the initial concentration of reactant. R is also you can take R naught also. So this is also very, very important, dear students. That's why if you have remembered that nth order reaction half-life formula, then the remaining half-life periods we can easily identify. So in this K is constant and n minus 1 is also constant, and it indicates that T half-life period for nth order reaction is directly proportional to 1 by A to the power of n minus 1. 1 by A to the power of n minus 1. Just you have to remember, dear students, for nth order reaction T half is directly proportional to 1 by A to the power of n minus 1. If n is equals to 0, then the T half is directly proportional to initial concentration. For zero order reaction, n is equals to 1, T half is equals to constant. Okay, if n is equals to 2, the T half is directly proportional to 1 by A will get. Means for second order reaction, half-life period is inversely proportional to initial concentration of reactant. If n is equals to 3, then the T half is equals to is directly proportional to 1 by A square. T half is directly proportional to or inversely proportional to square of the initial concentration. So these are the relations, dear students. If n is equals to n means for nth order reactions, the T half is directly proportional to 1 by A to the power of n minus 1. Okay, this is relation is very, very important. By using this relation, we can find out the order of the reaction. If the half-life periods they gave means we can find out order of the reaction also we can find out, dear students. Okay, and let's see next concept, dear students. These are all very, very important. Already just now only I explained you. So if the T half-life period for nth order reaction is directly proportional to 1 by A to the power of n minus 1. So from this relation, for zero order reaction is directly proportional to initial concentration. For first order reaction, half-life period is constant, and second order reaction is inversely proportional to initial concentration, and third order reaction, the half-life period is inversely proportional to square of the initial concentration of reactants. Okay, dear students. So let's see that. Next important graphical representation, dear students. Let's see the fifth point, half-life period. T half for a reaction is varies inversely with temperature. Means that if temperature with respect to half-life period is also both are inversely proportionality only, because the T half is inversely proportional to rate constant. T half is inversely proportional to rate constant. If temperature increases, the temperature increases, the K value is increases, then the T half value will be decreases. So the temperature and half-life period relation is both are inversely proportional to only, because the T half is inversely proportional to rate constant, inversely proportional to rate constant. At the same way, the temperature increases, the K value increases, and half-life period value will be decreases. Okay, dear students. Now we need to discuss about the graphical representation related to initial concentration of reactants with half-life period for zero order reactions. We know very well, dear students, for zero order reaction, half-life period is equals to R naught or A by 2K. A by 2K, this equation is, seems to be Y is equals to mx. So the y is nothing but on y-axis you have to take a half-life period, and x-axis you have to take initial concentration, and this line is goes through the origin, and the slope is equals to 1 by 2k. And for first order reaction, the T half is equals to 0.693 by k. Okay, 0.693 by k. Then the T half is equals to independent is equals to constant. It does not depends on the initial concentration of reactants. So that's why the T of a half-life period with respect to initial concentration graph here represents the parallel line to the x-axis, a parallel line to the initial concentration of reactant. It is this, like this graph indicates the first order reaction. Now come to a point for the second order reaction, dear students. For second order reaction, T of is equals to 1 by k into A, 1 by k into A. So this equation is also seems to be here 1 by k into 1 by A. Just it is T half is equals to 1 by k into 1 by A. This equation is seems to be y is equals to mx. So the slope is equals to 1 by k, and on x-axis you have to take 1 by r naught, 1 by initial concentration. Then the graph will goes to the origin then the slope is equals to 1 by k. Like this graph indicates the second order reactions. Okay, dear students, now main important concepts all are over. Now we'll need to discuss about some important additional concepts, dear students. So for example, number of the expression for the amount of reactant left in n half-life periods we need to discuss. So this expression is only for first order reaction only, because the first order reaction is half-life period is independent on the initial concentration of a reactant. For example, you have to take 100% of the reactant. In a chemical reaction, reactant is converted into product. Initially the reactant is 100% is present, then the T half, then it becomes 50%, dear students. Again it undergoes another half-life period and it becomes 25, and again it is another half-life period, it becomes 12.5. Like number of half-life periods increases, then the initial concentration of reactants will be decreases in first order kinetics or in first order reaction. So the number of, if after one half-life period the amount of reactant is left, means 50% of the reaction is over, still 50% of the reactant is left. That's why R naught by 2. For two half-life periods, how much amount of reactant is left means R naught by 2 power square. 2 power 2 means this is R naught by 4. R naught by 4 means 1 by 4th of the reactant is left for two half-life periods. For example, you have to imagine that this is the two half-life periods, then the 25% of the reactant is left. For two half-lives, two T halves for first order kinetics, then the 25% of reactant is left. Reactant is left. So 1 by 4th, 2 power 2 means 1 by 4th. 1 by 4th of the reactant is left. In the same way, three half-life periods are over. In a first order kinetics, the amount of reactant left is equals to R naught by 2 power 3. The same n half-life periods are over, then the amount of reactant left is equals to R naught by 2 power n. So the number of half-life periods or number of half-life periods with respect to time, if you want to calculate, means the total time by T half, then we'll get number of half-life periods we'll get, dear students. Okay, these are some important relations. Now we'll discuss about that for zero order reactions and first order reactions as well as second order reactions. The amount of reactant is completed, how much amount of reactant is completed with certain time, then it is equals to how many half-life period. That relations now we'll discuss, dear students. These relations are very, very important. For example, for zero order reaction, the main important relations are, we know very well, dear students, zero order reaction, K, for zero order reaction, K is equals to A by T. That A place you have to take, sorry, not A. For zero order reaction, K is equals to R naught minus R by T is also we can write like the X by T only, dear student. The K is rate constant for zero order reaction. The K is constant means the X1 by T1 is equals to X2 by T2. We'll get one relation, dear students. So X is nothing but the amount of reactant left. The amount of a reactant left. So the final concentration of where X indicates the amount of product formed. Product formed, okay, because R naught minus R after some time T, the initial concentration, let it be, you have to take A, after some time T, then X amount of reactant is decomposed, or X amount of product is formed with certain time T, then the K is equals to X by T will get. The X indicates the amount of product formed. So the K is rate constant and it is also constant, dear student, then that X1 by T1 is equals to X2 by T2 will get. Okay. Now another important relation, dear students, T 75% of the reaction for zero order reaction is equals to 3 by 2 T 50%. How it is means you want to prove this relation means that you have to take for zero order reaction, dear students, zero order reaction. Okay, for zero order reaction, K is equals to R naught minus R by T. Okay, dear students. Now, this is the equation 1. If T is equals to, if time, if T is equals to T half, if time T is equals to T half, then R is equals to R naught by 2. Okay, it's very clear, dear students. R is equals to R naught by 2. Then K is equals to just you have to substitute R naught by 2 T half will get. This is the first relation. And if time T is equals to 75% of the reaction is completed, T 75%, then final concentration of reactant is equals to 100 minus 75 is nothing but 25 will get, dear students. Then the K is equals to 100 minus 25 by T 75%. The both case, just you have to simplify this, dear students. Now the K is equals to 75, 100 minus 25 is nothing but 75 by T 75%. This is the equation 2. In the both cases, K is constant. Just R naught by 2 T of is equals to 75 by 75 by T 75%. Just you have to simplify, dear students. In this case, T 75% is equals to, sorry, this is 100 will get. R naught is nothing but initial concentration, it is 100. Okay, R naught by 2 T of means so if T is equals to 50%, R naught is equals to 50 will get, dear students here. Sorry, I will explain you once again. For example, for zero order reaction, K is equals to R naught by R. by time t. If t is equals to t 50 percentage, then r is equals to r naught is equals to 100 percentage, then the r is equals to 100 minus 50 is equals to 50 percentage will get. So therefore k is equals to 100 minus 50 is equals to 50 by t half. Okay, dear student, this is the equation 1. The same way t is equals to t 75 percentage of the reaction is completed, and the final concentration will be reactant left is 25 percentage will come, dear students. Then the k is equals to 100 minus 25 divided by t 75 percentage. Then k is equals to 75 by 70 t 75 percentage. This is the equation 2, dear students. From the equation 1 and equation 2, 50 by t 50 percentage is equals to 75 by t 75 percentage. So from this, t 75 percentage is equals to 75 by 50 into t 50 percentage. 75 by 50 is nothing but 3 by 2 into t 50 percentage. The same way, for example, for t 75 percentage of the reaction is completed in zero order reaction is equals to 3 by 2 into t 50 percentage. If 100 percentage is completed, then it is equals to 2 t halves, is equals to 2 into t halves. Okay, dear students, the same kind of relations also we can easily derive for first order reaction also. So for first order reactions t 75 percentage, the relation is 2 into 50 percentage. Same way 87.5 percentage is equals to 3 t halves, and t 93.75 percentage of the reaction is completed is equals to 4 t halves, and t 99.9 percentage for the completion is equals to 10 t halves. Okay, these relations all we need to derive, dear students. How I derived for zero order reaction, the same way also we can derive. So but first one three relations we have to remember in our mind directly, then we can solve these relations, will help for a objective examination. Okay, dear students, the same way for second order reaction also you have to take, dear students. For second order reactions, t 75 percentage of the reaction is sorry, t 66.66 percentage of the reaction is completed is equals to the 2 t halves, and t 75 percentage of the reaction is completed is equals to the 3 t halves, and t 80 percentage is completed is equals to 4 t halves, and t 99.9 percentage of the reaction completed is equals to the 999 t halves or t 50 percentage. Okay, these relations are very very important, dear students. Let's see one more important tabular form is useful for NEET and JEE examination directly, dear students. For example, a chemical reaction. In a chemical reaction, only one reactant is present, or more than one reactants also present. Other reactants concentration you have to take constant. So we are expressing the rate with respect to only one reactant. According to that, what is the order of the reaction and how to find out the order of the reaction? Now I'll explain you, dear students. So the concentration change done in the concentration of reactant. One reactant, other reactants are constant. Then the how the rate will be affected. If the rate affect how it is present, according to that, what is the order of the reaction? Now we need to find out. For example, you have to take one chemical reaction. The reactants converted into product, dear students. If the concentration of reactant is double, for this rate expression you have to write commonly, dear students. The rate is equals to K into concentration of reactant whole to the power of N. Order we don't know, but if the concentration of reactant is double, so the concentration of reactant is equals to 2R, then the rate is also becomes 2R. The rate is double, then what is the order? This, in that case, the order should be equal to 1. How it is equal to 1? Just let's see, dear students. For example, what I said, if R is equals to concentration of R plus you have to take 2R, then the rate R is equals to, let it be R1, then R2 is equals to 2R1, it will come, dear student. Mean the rate becomes double. So just you have to use this relation and find out the rate. Then the R2 is equals to, means 2R1, 2R1 is equals to K into concentration of reactant is nothing but 2R whole to the power of N. Okay, then the 2R1 is equals to K into 2 power N into R to the power of N will comes. So the K into 2 power N is nothing but R1 only, dear students. So 2R1 is equals to 2 power N into R1. This R1 and R1 will cancel, dear students. So the 2 is equals to 2 power N. 2 is nothing but 2 power 1. From this N is equals to 1 it will get. So any chemical reaction, the reactant concentration is double and rate is also double, and it indicates the first order reaction. If any chemical reaction, the reactant concentration double or triple or half, whatever it may be, the rate is not changed. The rate is not changed. It indicates the zero order reaction, because the zero order reaction, the rate is equals to constant R power 0. It indicates that rate is equals to constant. The rate of reaction is independent on the concentration of reactants. It indicates the zero order reaction. So the concentration of reactants, however you have to change, the rate is not changed. The rate is same only. After changing the concentration of reactants also, it indicates the zero order reaction. Okay, dear students, one more. You see, if the rate is double, if the concentration of reactant is double, then the R is equals to 2R. Okay, dear student, the rate is increased by 4 times. The rate is increased by 4 times, then the R becomes 4R. R1 is equals to 4R. Then it indicates the second order reaction. Let's see, dear students, commonly you have to take any reaction. R is converted into product. For this R, rate expression K is equals to K into R power N. Okay, then concentration of reactant is double, means it becomes 2R. Okay, dear students, then the rate R is equals to R1 is equals to 4R. The rate becomes 4 times it is increased. Then the 4R is equals to K into 2R whole to the power of N. Then from this 4R is equals to 2 power N into K into R to the power of N. K into R to the power of N is nothing but R only, dear students. Then the 4R is equals to 2 power N into R. This R and R will cancel. Then the 4 is equals to 2 power N. So the 4 is nothing but 2 square. 2 square is equals to 2 power N. So the bases are equal. Then the power should be equal. Then the N is equals to 2. It indicates that second order reaction. So if concentration of reactants double, the rate becomes 4 times. It indicates the second order reaction. The same way, concentration of reactants becomes triple, 3R, then the rate is increased by 9 times, then it is also indicates the second order reaction. The concentration of reactants is half R naught by 2, then the rate also becomes, the rate is equals to R1 is equals to R by 2, half, it indicates the first order reaction. The rate concentration is decreased half, and the rate is also becomes half, it indicates the first order reaction. The concentration of reactants is equals to half R naught by 2, and but the rate is the rate R becomes R1 becomes R by 4. 4 times it is decreased. It is also indicates the second order reaction. This kind of relations are very, very important for objective examination, dear students. Okay, and one more important is, for already we know, dear students, for first order reaction rate constant, second order reaction rate constant formulas already we know that, but the second order reaction rate constant formula, just you have to remember. For nth order reaction rate constant formula, if you remember, then the second order reaction it becomes very easy, dear students. For nth order reaction, the rate constant formula is equals to K is equals to 1 by T into n minus 1 brackets 1 by a minus x whole to the power of n minus 1 minus of 1 by a power n minus 1, where n indicates the order. If that n place, if you are taking 0 means we'll get 0 order reaction rate constant. N place, if you are taking